This is the fool that lent out money gratis.
Hear me yet, good Shaik.
I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath. I'll have my bond. Thou call'st me dog before thou hadst a cause. But since I am a dog, beware my fangs.
I pray thee.
The Duke shall grant me justice.
Hear me speak.
I'll have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I'll have my bond, and therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a dull and soft-eyed fool, to shake the head, relent, and sigh, and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I'll have no speaking. I will have my bond.
I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life. The Duke cannot deny the course of law, since the trade and profit of the city consisted of all nations. These griefs and losses has abated me. I'll hardly spare a pound of flesh to my bloody creditor. Pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not.
Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to face a stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, void and empty from any dram of mercy.
I have heard your grace has taken great pains to qualify his rigorous course. But since that he remains obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me out of his enemy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury, and am armed to suffer with a quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court. Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leads this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act, and where thou now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touched with humane gentleness and love, forgive a moiety of the principal, glancing an eye of pity on the losses that have of late so huddled on his back. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why. I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humour. So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a lodged hate, a certain loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Oh, hates any man the thing he would not kill.
Every offense is not a hate at first.
thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you! Think you question with a Jew? You may as well stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait his usual height. You may as well make question with the wolf why he has made the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well do anything most hard as seek to soften his Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no farther means, but with all brief and plain conveniency. Let me have judgment in the Jewish will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, there is 6!
If every ducat in 6,000 ducats were in 6 parts, and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I would have my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment should I dread? Doing no wrong. You have amongst you many a purchased slave, which like your asses and your dogs and mules you use in abject and in slavish part because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free? Marry them to your heirs. Why sweat they under burdens? Oh, let their beds be made as soft as yours. You will answer, the slaves are ours. So do I answer you. The pound of flesh that I demand of him is dearly bought. 'Tis mine, and I will have it. I stand for judgment. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court. Unless SALERIO, a learned doctor whom I have sent for to determine this, come here today.
Oh, what good cheer, Antonia, what man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, ere thou shalt lose from me 1 drop of blood.
Come you from Padua, from SALERIO?
From both, my lord. SALERIO greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
Oh, to cut the forfeiture from the bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew. Thou makest thy knife keen. Can no prayers pierce thee?
None that thou hast wit enough to make.
Oh, be thou damned and execrable dog! And for thy life, let justice stand accused, for thou almost makes me waver in my faith. For thou, cursed spirit, govern a wolf, who hanged for human slaughter, even from the gallows to this fell so fleet. And while thou layest in thy unhallowed dam, infuse itself in thee. For thy desires are wolfish, bloody, starved, and ravenous!
Till thou can rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offends thy lungs to speak so loud. I stay here for law.
This letter doth commend a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by, to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart. Go, give him courteous conduct to this place. Meantime, the court shall hear SALERIO's letter. Your grace shall understand, at the receipt of this letter, I am very sick. But in the instant your messenger arrived, in loving visitation was with me a young doctor of Rome. His name is Balthazar. I acquainted him with the cause in controversy between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. He is furnished with my opinion, which bettered with his own learning, comes with him as my importunity to fill up your grace's request in my stead. And here I take it is the doctor come. You are welcome. Take your place. Are you familiar with the question that holds this present issue in the court?
I'm informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here, and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand for.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow. Yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you, as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
By what compulsion must I?
The quality of mercy.
Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. It is mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. It is an attribute to God himself. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy. And that same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, this strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head. I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes, yes, here I tender it for him in the court. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will be bound to pay it 10 times o'er on forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth, and I beseech you, wrest once the law to your authority. To do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil of his will.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a decree established. 'Twill be recorded for a precedent, and many an error by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
And Daniel come to judgment, yea! And Daniel, oh, wise young judge, how I do honor thee!
Pray you let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor, here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath! An oath! I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury upon my soul? Oh, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit. And lawfully by this, the Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off, nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid, according to the tenor, it does appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your exposition has been most sound. Proceed to judgment. By my soul I swear, there is no power in the tongue of man to alter me. I stay here on my bond.
Most heartily, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knight.
Oh, noble judge, oh, excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis very true, O wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy lord?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
I, his breast, so saith the bond. Does it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so. Have by some surgeon, Shylock, on your charge to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
It is not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. 'Tis not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Fare you well. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It's still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how much I love you. Speak fair of me in death, and when the tale is told, bid her be judge whether Bassanio had not once a love. Repent but you, that you shall lose your friend, and he repents not that he pays your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I'll pay it instantly with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife which is as dear to me as life itself, but life itself, my wife and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice them all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife who I protest I love. I would she were in heaven to entreat some power to change this cursed Jew.
'Tis well you make the offer behind her back. The wish would else make an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time, I pray thee. Pursue sentence.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Most rightful judge!
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The court awards it, and the law allows it.
Most learned judge, a sentence! Come! Prepare!
A little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond. Take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge! Marked you a learned judge!
Is that the law?
Thyself shalt see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desirest.
A learned judge! Marked you a learned judge!
I take this offer then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here is the money.
Soft! Soft! But you shall have all justice. Soft! No haste! He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge!
Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut thou less, nor more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou takest more or less than a just pound, nay, if the scale do turn, but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscate.
A second Daniel! A Daniel too! Oh, infidel, I've got thee on the hip!
Why doth the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee. Here it is.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond.
Shall I not have barely my principal?
Thou shalt have nothing but the forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril. Jew.
Why then? The devil give him good of it! I'll stay. No longer question.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien, that by direct or indirect attempts he seek the life of any citizen, the part against the which he doth contrive shall seize 1/2 his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies in the mercy of the Duke only. Down, therefore, and beg mercy of the Duke.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirits, I pardon thee thy life, before thou ask it. For half thy wealth it is Antonio's. The other half comes to the general estate, which humbleness may drive unto a fine.
Nay. Take my life and all. Pardon not that. You take my house when you do take the prop that does sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him, Antonio?
So please my lord the Duke and all the court to quit the fine for 1/2 of his goods, I am content. So he will let me have the other half in use to render upon his death unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter. 2 things provided more, that for this favor he presently become a Christian. The other, that he do record a gift here in this court of all he dies possessed unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter.
He shall do this, or else I do recant the pardon I late pronounced here.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray you give me leave to go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me and I will sign it.
Sir, I entreat you her with me to dinner.
I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth.
A most worthy gentleman, I and my friend have by your wisdom this day been acquitted of grievous penalties in lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew. We freely cope your courteous pains withal.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid, that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid.
Dear sir, of force I must attempt you further. I pray you take some remembrance of us as a tribute, not as fee.
You press me far, and therefore I will yield. For your love, I'll take this ring from you.
This ring? Alas, good sir, it is a trifle. I will not shame myself to give you this.
I will have nothing else but only this.
Good sir, this ring was given me by my wife, and when she put it on, she made me vow that I should neither sell, nor give, nor lose it.
That excuse serves many men to save their gifts. And if your wife be not a mad woman, and know how well I have deserved this ring, she would not hold out enemy forever for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you. What?
My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings and my love withal be valued against your wife's commandments.
Go, Gratiano. Run and overtake him. Give him the ring. Away. Make haste. And in the morning early will we both fly towards Belmont. Come, Antonio.
Upon further advice, my lord Bassanio sends you here this ring.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully. And so I pray you tell him.
That will I do.
I'll see if I can get my husband's ring from him, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
Thou mayest, I warrant. We shall have all swearing that they did give the rings away to men. But we'll outface them and outswear them too. Come to Belmont.
We're not the only ones. When it says theater in the rough, I got the message.